Good day, everyone. This is me again, Hart, for another video. And for today, we're going to talk about a quote from Marcus Aurelius from this book, The Daily Stoic by Ryan Holiday. So the quote goes, "Do away with the opinion I am harmed, and the harm is cast away too. Do away with being harmed, and harm disappears." So this is entitled No Harm, No Foul. So that quote is basically referring to the things or the interpretation we have to the things that are happening around us. So examples that were cited or were given by Ryan Holiday in this situation is that when you are in an in a situation, for example, you're in an argument, you talk to this person, and if your initial thought process each time you have an argument with a person is that you are going to be upset because the other person is angry or upset too. But when you take into consideration the thing that Marcus Aurelius is saying, we could control the way we interpret our own thoughts when we are having those type of conversations, those type of arguments. The first thing that could, or the first emotion that you could feel by that interaction would be you would become upset, you would be angry. And that's totally normal. But the second part of that emotion, or the first part would be feeling that emotion, but the second part is we're looking at into how your mind reacts. So how does your mind react to that emotion? Do you do you recognize that emotion? Well, that's good. You recognize your emotion, but do you interpret it as something negative? Wherein when you feel that emotion, you got angry, you got upset, then you will interpret everything according to that emotion that you're feeling. You will feel that the other person is really getting to your nerves. They are trying to be more argumentative, or maybe trying to one up you, or be to make you look like you're lesser, or they are more, how do you say this, their argument is better, or your argument is not valid, just like that. But what Marcus Aurelius is saying is that the way we interpret things, the way we interpret our emotions, can be managed, can be controlled. So, if for example, you are in that conversation, in that argument, you can feel that you're upset. But if you interpret that person is maybe having a bad day, or maybe that's just their personality and they cannot see that, they are not aware of that. But you, since you're aware that of your emotions, of other people's emotions, you interpret them as something in the more of the side of being more understanding of other people's feelings and their motivations of saying something, doing something that is bad. So, in order for us to really come out better from those type of conversations, we need to be more careful on how we interpret things. So that is what Marcus Aurelius is reminding us, to control our own interpretations about things. If you interpret this thing to be bad, then you will continue to interpret that as something that is bad. If you interpret it the opposite, you will interpret it as something as that is good, then you will interpret it as a good thing. So, going back to that conversation, if you really understand other people, you interpret that they may be having a hard time in their current situation in their life, then you will let it pass. You will understand them. You will maybe just de escalate the situation and just understand that you need to be the bigger person here, since you are more aware and you're more understanding of their situation. So, I guess you will not, I'm guessing that all of us cannot do that all the time, like 100%. But if you practice that maybe most of the time, 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10 times, you or 90% or 80% of the time, you can do that and you can practice to interpret things in a good light. So before you finish this video, the thing that I want you I want to remind you is that we can control how we think, how we act on things, do things, and how we say, or we can control the thing we think of, the way we do things, the way we say things. And that interpretation is a powerful thing. And if you can really practice that, you can be better. So that is it for this video. See you on the next.